Hi everyone. I have a couple of sound alerts. The first sound is coming your way. It sounds like this. Do you know what that is? So I had a dentist appointment and I had to take my labret out, and that's the hole where the piercing was, because it's a pretty big piercing. So once or twice a year I get to do sometimes I'll put water in my mouth and then go over to Alicia and just start squirting water out of my face hole. Oh my God, that's so funny to me. Sorry for the immaturity, but that's the first sound, I couldn't help it. It's so much fun to do. And then here's just for the next 30 days. Sorry about the dry mouth. So I think, okay, so that's good for 30 days. Dry mouth apology. I got on here because, I hope I remember why I got on here to begin with, but I forgot. So I think last time I was on here, I said that, I forgot why I stopped using the sound machine. I remember why I stopped, because I loved that sound machine. I stopped because, the reason I started using it was because Alicia, holy fuck, her snoring was so loud. She's a back and side sleeper, but primarily she sleeps on her back, and it's just oh my God. I should be a voice actor. Just kidding. But that's all I would listen to, and I would get so fucking pissed because I don't know if that counts as a misophonia thing or something, even though that's for eating sounds. I don't know. I could not sleep. I was just so, she's always been like that. I had to put up with it for fucking years. And so I had probably gotten that sound machine as a last resort, and she didn't like the sound machine. And I was like, well, I don't like your snoring, and I need to sleep, and you're not doing anything about your situation, so I have to do something about my situation, and I need to get more sleep. So I would fall asleep to the waves crashing on a pretend beach or something. And I stopped using it when she finally went and did a sleep test and got a CPAP. And now it's the only white noise I need in there is my fan and the air purifier that we always keep on. But yeah, I didn't need the sound machine after that because there was no more loud fucking snoring. Oh, it was so annoying. And it's not her fault. She couldn't help it. Whatever. Anyways, what did I get in here for? Oh no. Oh no, I remember. Sorry, I was just talking out loud to myself. I understood myself, even if you didn't. So I got on here because I was supposed to have a dentist appointment this morning earlier. Sorry, I'm feeling a little anxious too. Coming down from the anxiety. So, I was supposed to have gone to the dentist. I think it was back in October, somewhere around that time. And I had to call and reschedule because I'm pretty sure I had to take Alicia to ketamine therapy. And, that was a great excuse not to go to the dentist. So I rescheduled, and I only one specific dentist out of the two. I only like the one, not the other one. And then I only like one of the two nitrous oxide technicians, because I guess you have to have a special license or whatever to operate that. So there's only two technicians there that know how to do that. And I only like to have the one. Her name's Elaine. And so I remember when I was rescheduling, they were we don't have anything until February for the both of them to be working at the same time. And I was like, that's fine. So then today came, and you know how it goes. I don't care how many times I've been to the dentist in my life. It's as if each visit is a new experience, because it the anxiety that I feel, it just feels it's, oh my God, I have anxiety all the time, but anxiety about dentist visits, it's just it's the first time I'm going to one ever in my life. That kind of anxiety, it's just, I fucking hate it, even though I know that I'm going to get the They call it laughing gas, but I have never been in a situation where I've been using it, like, not in a dentist's office. So I guess when people use it, how do you get your hands on that? I don't know. But maybe, like, if people are, like, hanging out and they're, like, passing it around and they're laughing because I don't know how that works. But I don't call it laughing gas, but I will for this episode. But anyways, so I do the whole preparing thing. I was starting to feel anxious yesterday. I was trying to think of, like, how can I get out of this appointment? Dude, I'm 40 and I'm trying to sit there and figure out how can I get out of, like, going to the dentist? Like, who am I trying to, like, hide from? It's Alicia, because this bitch still has Mondays off. I mean, well, I don't know if I told you that she got them back. She used to only get Sundays off, but now her internship ended, so she gets her Mondays back too. And oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I almost forgot. And so, like, now she's home on Mondays. And so if I have a Monday appointment, it's not like I can just, like, cancel, because she's going to come and be like, why didn't you go? Like, blah, blah. I don't want to have to hear that shit, because sorry that I'm not responsible. And I am only going, like, here's the truth, guys. I only go to the dentist because Alicia would say otherwise. She would not like it if I never went. I only go to the doctor because she doesn't like it if I never go. And this is very weird departure from my behavior in my 20s. It's like everything's backwards. In my 20s, I was a raging fucking bitch. I mean, I was nice, but, like, don't piss me off. I was very confrontational. I had this huge chip on my shoulder that I didn't even know that I had. And I had, like, I remember having anxiety, but, like, I feel like the hate and the anger that I was carrying around with me for who knows what just kind of squashed whatever anxiety that could be debilitating. So I went to a college. I drove there, like, every single day, an hour there, an hour back. I'd have all these different jobs. I'd go to all my appointments like you're supposed to. And the reason why I think I just kind of did that in my 20s was because I had gotten out of the military, and they really, like, their brainwash is, like, serious, because I kept going to my appointments, you know, because, like, in the military, at least when I went through, they scheduled them for you, and you had to go no matter what the time was, no matter whether it was your day off or what. You had to go. And so I just, like, did what responsible adults do and maintained my, like, teeth and stuff. And it still is. But, like, if I just need to be honest with myself, if I wasn't married, I would be going to, like, no doctor, which means I probably would not have been given the meds that I'm on, which that's Prozac and Wellbutrin. That's it. And I'm going to try to, like, I'm thinking about getting off of those at some point in the near future. But, yeah, so, like, you know, if, like, she wasn't in my life, I'd probably just be crazy. So I don't know, maybe I would have murdered somebody by now and I'm in prison. I don't know. So I'm glad that, like, I'm married to somebody responsible. Kind of, like, is weird because I'm not trying to put her in, like, a parent role, because that's fucking weird. But does anybody else out there do this? Like, do you ever, if you're with somebody, like, maybe you've been with them for years, you know, or you're married or whatever, think to yourself, the only reason that I'm being responsible in this area is because if I'm not, she's going to be like, you need to go to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. And the fucking weird thing, too, is I used to get after her. When I first met her, that bitch had never had a pap smear. I hate that. Who came up with that term? Pap smear? Come on. That's the worst thing to call those. That's disgusting. Like, what the fuck? Nothing good comes to mind when you hear that. Is it called something different now? I don't know, because I don't have to get them anymore. So, but I was proud of myself because I made her go get one. This bitch was like 30. And I was like, how did you get this far in life and you've never had your cooter checked out by a doctor? Like, what if something's going on down there? And she's like, well, wouldn't I, like, feel it or something? Or I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe, but, like, some things you can't detect. And, you know, like, I was very gung-ho, like, get your flu shot, do this, do that. And then once I hit 30, like, I just was like, fuck everything. And then I stopped pressuring her to go do the things that like I thought that she should do because I didn't want to do those things myself. So why was I going to try to make her? And then that's when she realized that I just don't want to go to the doctor or the dentist anymore. I can't believe it's 10 minutes in. I just really talked about that for that long. That's not even what I was getting on here to talk about. Sorry for the tangents. Okay, so like, oh my God. So I did the whole like getting ready, anxious. I go to the dentist. I'm all prepared. I have my hoodie on because I wear a hoodie that's got where you can put your hands in and like it's the front pocket where like it's a big pocket and your hands can touch each other, like not just like each hand has a pocket. I don't know how to talk. I wear a hoodie like that because I like grip on for dear life. Like I was like, I don't know. It helps me when I'm laying down and they're in my mouth. I love wearing that hoodie. I wear like my sweatpants. I like pretty much try to cover any area of exposed skin. I don't know why. Like it just makes me feel like I'm going into battle, guys. Like here's my sweatpants and my hoodie. Like, what the fuck, man? And I'm in the right mind frame. Like, okay, I'm ready for this. And I get there and Elaine comes out and she leads me back to the room. She has me take a seat in the chair. And this bitch comes up to me and she's like, okay, so I have two options for you. And before she said what they were, I said, you know what? Option number 2 is I'm leaving. And I got up and I said, sorry, because I knew that bitch was going to tell me that they were out of nitrous because this happened to me once before. And they didn't think I was going to leave. And I don't know why. Like, somebody who asks for nitrous for fucking cleanings isn't, like, fucking around. And so the last time I was embarrassed because it was just embarrassing. And then this time I did it again. And she's like, I'm really sorry. Like, I just now found out when she was flipping the switches to show me. And I said, that's okay. No problem. I was like, but like, I'm not staying if there's no nitrous. I can't get it cleaning. It's not going to happen. Sorry. Like, cause it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And I felt so bad. So like, they're the ones that don't have the nitrous, right? And I'm the one that feels like I inconvenienced them because now they're not going to get paid for that appointment. And I feel bad for that. And I don't think I should. So I don't know how to get out of that frame of mind. But, like, I really do need that nitrous. Like, they know this. It's in my notes. I actually had somebody, now that I think about it, like, years ago, I had somebody up front at the computer right in there, like, if the nitrous is out, call because patient won't come or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Because here's another side tangent. So like what I think happened is because I always expect the worst from people. So this is like my bullshit, but I am sitting there thinking, yeah, right. Like you knew you were out. How did you because that should have been running already before I got there because it takes a while. Because I don't know if they have some old ass machine or what, but it takes a while for it to get up and going. So you kind of already knew, I'm pretty sure, that there was none. And I bet that the one dentist, the one that I don't like, that I don't want to meet with, I bet he was like, because I saw him walking down the hall, he probably was like, oh, just have her come in anyways and bring her to the room and sit her down and then tell her, because like maybe if she's already in the chair, she won't get up and leave and then we can just get it done with. You know, like that's what I think happened. And I've been going there for so many years. They should know better. So, not to mention, I did have to pay for something, and that was the nitrous because insurance doesn't cover it. So the very first time I paid for nitrous, it was $90. And then, I don't know, like a little over a year ago, it went up to like $110, you know, because the economy was starting to tank or whatever. And like now the economy seems to be doing a bit better, but like it's $145 for like a 20-minute woohoo. Like that is fucking expensive. And so I prepaid for that because I decided I'm going to start doing that instead of paying after the appointment, because like after the appointment, I just want to get out of that building. And so if I pay for the nitrous ahead of time, I can just leave right after and they can bill insurance or whatever for the actual appointment. But yeah, that's fucking expensive. But I sit there and I think to myself, I wonder if they think that like I just come here for the high. And like I've said this to Alicia before, and she said, you know, that's a pretty expensive high. And if you were trying to get in there like once a month or something, like, sure, maybe there would, you know, be some concerns, but they probably don't think that. They probably just think like, ooh, you know, like, because not like judgy, but like, oh, you know, like I'm one of those people like that has to have nitrous for cleaning. And I've only ever known children. Wait, no, do children get nitrous? Or is it teenagers? I remember thinking like it was teenagers that, I don't know. Like I remember talking to somebody in there the one time and they made it sound like it was like a childlike, like they weren't being rude, but basically no adult in that place with all the patients that they have, no adult other than me gets nitrous for a cleaning. And that's how they told me that, not that exact wording, but that's what they pretty much said. And so that's always in the back of my mind. And I'm always like, oh my God, they probably think that like I'm here just for the nitrous. And I don't know how to stop thinking that way, because in reality, that probably is not at all what they're thinking. So like, why does my mind get stuck on like this crap? So I just felt like embarrassed. I realized I was already on an anxiety high that I didn't realize, like it just, all the anxiety, just, I don't know where it came from. It fell into my body from wherever the fuck it was holding up. Like, no nitrous. Oh, let's go, guys. So, like, let's make her nervous. And so I had to stand up there and wait for them to reschedule me. So Elaine comes up. She's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Even though it kind of is, right, guys? I don't know. I feel like I need to take the blame for everybody. It's not my fault they're out of nitrous, but I feel like, you know, if you wanted the money that bad, maybe you would have had the nitrous, but I don't know. Like, I felt like I was kind of inconveniencing them and I felt bad, and I'm trying to like, this needs to be added to the list of stuff I have to keep working on. So I stood up there and I waited, and Elaine's just standing next to me. And then the receptionist is like, okay, so the other one that does the gas is named Jess. And so the receptionist said, you know, Jess has earlier openings. She could see you next week, you know, or if you want to stay with like Elaine. And I looked over at Elaine and she was looking at me. I'm like, yeah, I want to stay with Elaine. And Elaine's like, oh, good. And I think I made her happy, because if you guys have listened to prior episodes, I did a dentist episode and I talked about that bitch. And then I was like, she's not a bitch anymore. I think I've done a couple of dentist episodes, but I don't think I've done one like this one. So I get rescheduled for over a month from now, just so I can have the exact dentist that, mind you, only comes in the last 5 minutes of the appointment. But that's how much I don't want that other dude, because he's a narcissist, and I just don't want to be in the room with him. I know that sounds judgy, and it is, but I'm paying them, so I should be able to pick who I want to work in my mouth. Because not just anybody can come in here inside my mouth. And so I'm okay, like, waiting. But so what happened was, turns out if you have like all the anxiety about the thing, even if you don't do the thing, all the anxiety still follows you home. And that's what happened to me. And so like I come home and Alicia was like standing in that, like she was frozen when I opened the door. She was like standing in the middle of like the library room, and she was frozen. I'm like, are you having a tryst or something? Like, what's going on? Like, I've been gone for 5 minutes and they're like, you know, hookers over here or something. And she's like, no, I just don't know what you're doing home right now. And she was in the middle of petting a cat. And I'm like, I'm home because there's no fucking nitrous. And she's like, oh. And then I felt bad because she was going to get to have the house to herself for at least 45 minutes. And she never gets the house to herself anymore because I am always here. Always here. And she tells me she doesn't care that she doesn't get the house to herself. And I believe her, because she really doesn't care about stuff like that. But I know how it feels to have the house to yourself, and it's nice. Every single day that I have the house to myself, it's nice. So I was like, I kind of felt bad that like she couldn't even get the 45 minutes of the house to herself that she didn't even care about. I just felt bad that I couldn't give that to her. And then, so I started going about like my chores because, you know, I can't do anything until after the appointment's done. So I start doing the chores, like putting the dishes away, washing dishes. And then I started getting like a hot flash and feel really nauseous. And so I head to like, I turn around to head to the bedroom to see if I can sit in front of the fan and not barf yet. And as soon as like I turn around, I kick like a bowl of water for the cats. I just kind of kick it and it topples over. Because they have two bowls. One bowl, I could just, you don't need to know. It's a bowl of water. What the fuck? And I kicked it and all of the water went everywhere. And so I don't spring into action anymore. Like, it takes me a while to process, like, oh, you need to go do something right now. This water is getting everywhere. So by the time I kicked into, gear, and there's just water everywhere. And so I'm just trying to sop it up. And then I realized, oh, I got so focused on this that I don't even have the urge to throw up anymore. That's great. And so like, I kind of like cleaned up the mess. And then I went to the bedroom anyways. And I like ripped off my hoodie, like something dramatic is happening. And I'm sitting in front of the fan in my sports bra. Not that you guys asked for any of these details. I'm just explaining. And the fan feels so nice. And then I look behind me and Morpheus is in his bed, the cat that sleeps with me next to my pillow, and he's the doctor. You guys, don't you have like animals that do things? Like one of our cats we call Popo, because if you get too loud, like too excited about something, she will run and jump on you and meow like, are you okay? And then Morpheus is like the doctor, because whenever I would come in from like mowing or whatever was going to make me barf, he was always there, like sitting next to me, like, so I just call him a doctor, and he was behind me. So I crawled back into bed and I pet him and I put my arm around him and I'm like, oh, you feel so nice. You're so like soothing. And the next thing I know, I'm asleep in the middle of the day. I don't take naps anymore. I just fell asleep. I'm like, Alicia's like in her room. And she didn't see me after a while. And so she came to find me. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I fell asleep. I have things to do. Why did I just fall asleep like that? Because that's what my fucking anxiety did. Like, I had to take a nap. I had to come home and rip off my hoodie. Like, oh my God, it's so hot. And then like, it's so dramatic. And then I fall asleep. It's like, people go to the dentist all the time. Like, now this is just kind of funny to me. But it still is surprising every time it happens that, like, I make such a big deal. And I didn't even do the dentist thing. I just went there and I was told that I wasn't gonna, like, no nitrous. So, like, why did I feel all that anxiety? And I didn't even, like, go through with, like, having my teeth cleaned. That's so weird to me. And I understand, like, how anxiety works. Like, I get all that. It doesn't mean that it's any less weird. Because the amount of anxiety I felt when I came home felt like the kind of anxiety, like the same level that I experience when I come back from actually getting a cleaning. That is so weird. Oh my God. And you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. So do I go to the dentist just for nitrous? No. Because that is very expensive and I can get a lot of marijuana for $145. So I'm not going there just for the nitrous. However, the nitrous is a good time. And that is the only thing that makes me sit in that fucking chair and let people clean my mouth, because I can go to a party in my head and I don't feel any pain, which is like the most important part. Because like, I don't know how that works. But like, I don't feel any pain at all when I am on nitrous, which was the whole point, because I don't like pain. That's why I don't want to go to the dentist. So I, at the same time as like, oh, I don't want to go, I also was like, ooh, I can't wait for the nitrous. I can't wait for the nitrous. Like, that is so weird to me that those two things were existing at the same time in my head. And so, yeah, when I found out that there was no nitrous, I was like, I felt kind of let down. I was like, oh, well, I was looking forward to it. And then, like, after I scheduled my next appointment, and then I was like driving home, which is pretty much across the street, because I'm too lazy to walk. I was thinking to myself, next time I come here, because I told them that they can just, as long as they make a note that I already paid for my nitrous, I don't want the refund, just I'm not going to pay it the next time. And they're like, that's fine. And so on the way home, I'm like, $145 for what? Maybe 20 minutes? 25 maybe that technician is in my mouth. I'm going to be like, you need to go slow, because I'm paying for a good time right now. I would like this to be extended at least, like, try to make it a half hour, because I'm sure that you guys have to set aside that amount of time anyways. Like, take your time, like, really give my teeth a good cleaning so I can get my money's worth. Now, I say that I'm going to go in there and ask for that, but I probably won't. I probably will just wish for it, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, can you, take your time, because no. Because I don't want to be perceived as like, I don't know. But I wanted to get on here and be like, yep, it's almost 26 minutes. This is the amount of time I would spend on an episode where I actually had the cleaning. They were in my mouth, like all of that. No. Nope. No. This is Monday. It's Monday, and this is how my week is going to start. The good news is Alicia is on her way to ketamine therapy, which is like 45 minutes away. Oh, and guess what? I have to start driving her there again, because she's going to do her sessions with her ketamine therapist. So that means I have to go back to like once a week, 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. And the very first one, it's at 7:30 in the fucking morning. And I'm like, what the fuck? I like have been in bed for like 2 hours at that point. Like, I just feel so bad for Alicia. Does anybody out there feel bad for their spouses or their significant others or whatever? Like, I don't know. I really hope Alicia knows I love her, because I tell her, like, look, I get that, like, you think I love the cats more than you, but, like, I don't. I think I do, but don't tell her. Is that rude? I don't know. I just love animals more than people. I mean, I love my wife, don't get me wrong, but like, if I had to choose between her and Hades, I hope she never hears this episode. Like, this is rotten, but if I was told, like, you can get 20 more years out of Hades or Alicia, but you can't have them both, you guys, I probably would pick Hades. I probably would pick the cat. If I could get like 20 more years with that guy, I probably would just be like, can you hold on for 20 years so I can have my cat, and then we'll meet back up. That's so fucked up. Oh my God. This is the truth. I'm just being honest. Like, these are things that, like, I'm afraid to say out loud for other people to hear, because they might think I'm a horrible person, but I know you guys don't think that I'm horrible, because I think you understand this kind of thinking. But yeah, I totally I was like, I am very glad that you're going and doing your ketamine therapy, even though I'm bitching about like 7:30, because like, why? I don't have to get up at that hour anymore. Like, when she came to wake me up from the nap I didn't know I was taking, I was like, I wish that there was a pause button. Just push pause. And then can we just get like 2 weeks of, I can sleep as long as I want. I can just do all the fun things that I want. I don't have to do any scooping of the litter box, no chores, no nothing, just no responsibilities. And then we can unpause after 2 weeks and resume life again, because this adult bullshit is bullshit. And she's like, yeah, I can't wait for school to be over, because this is a lot. And it's going to officially be over in the fall this year. And I was like, don't take this the wrong way, but I can't wait for it to be over too, because I'm tired of like having to turn into a chef every Monday and have to be a chef for like a whole week, and I only get 2 days off. And then I started laughing, and I was like, oh my God, I just heard myself. Like, you're the one doing the school. You're the one having to get the grades, study for the test, do all of the shit. And I'm over here like, I have to be a chef and cook your food. Wah. But I'm just done. I hate cooking. I hate it. It's too long. It's too long for cooking. It's going on like, this is the 3rd year I've had to cook for that bitch. And she's not a bitch. But it's like, I'm tired of cooking. And I'm just going to complain about it because I think you guys will understand. But I also like to do the cooking for her. Does that make sense? Because like she doesn't have to do it, and I feel good that I'm helping her out. But it doesn't mean that I like what I'm doing. I don't know how to make sense. Just yesterday, I was feeling great. I was like, this is a great day. Oh my God, this week is going to be awesome. And then I go and I get to the dentist office for an appointment that like I didn't have. And it's like almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And this appointment was at 11:30. And how many hours later is that? Whatever, 3, 4, I don't know. And I'm still like feeling anxious about like the appointment that didn't even happen. Like, what is this anxiety? Can it go away? Like, how does it go away? I need to make it go away because this is like, okay, no, I'm okay. That's what Alicia, she's like, you're home. Just breathe. You're okay. You're not there. And I'm like, thanks. That's helpful. It was not helpful, though. It was not helpful. But I wanted her to think like she was being helpful. I hope I don't sound like a rotten person. Sometimes, like, being autistic makes me feel like the world revolves around me. Because, like, I feel like... I know Alicia knows that I don't feel that way. And I'm glad that she understands that, I'm not, like, some just demanding, selfish person. But do you guys ever feel like, oh my gosh, like, that we're high maintenance and things have to be exactly so, and like, oh, like, you didn't do this, so I'm gonna have anxiety about it. Like, what is this? However, I would not trade it in to be not autistic because I like all the other stuff that comes with autism. So, I'm just gonna go eat a happy brownie that I made yesterday because I feel like I deserve it. And that's what's kind of fucked up too, is because I didn't do anything. I didn't do the appointment, but I think I deserve a happy brownie because I feel like I put myself through a lot the last few hours. Now, can you make sense of that? Do you guys get that? Because I really feel like I deserve it, even though I didn't do anything. So this is all hilarious to me, and it's probably going to be even more hilarious when I go eat that brownie. And I don't have any work pending, so I'm just going to eat that brownie and see where it takes me. And thank you for listening. Hopefully this was relatable. And goodbye.